Welcome into the live stream from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir.
How are you?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Any chance we get Ragey Neal out today?
I don't think so.
Can we bring him out to play? Can we bring him out to play?
I'm more mad at myself right now than I am anything else. No, he's not.
Can Mr. Ragey Neal come out and play today?
He's not coming out today. He's going to get this show done, load it, and then he's going to take his fat ass out into the neighborhood and run. And then when I have to stop after 25 minutes, I'll yell at myself and then I'll run again. That's where I'm headed. I mean, I can tell you the speech. Well, fat ass, if you weren't so fucking fat, this wouldn't hurt. You'd be able to keep going. You wouldn't be miserable right now if you weren't so fat. That's the conversation I have with myself for the better part of 10 minutes. And then by then, I'm mad at myself for stopping because now I'm going to be stiff to start running again. And then you start going again and you're like, well, this hurts. And had you not stopped to yell at yourself because you're a psychopath, this wouldn't hurt as much and you'd still be going. But then I'll finish and it is what it is.
Brock called me old last night. I told him, I said, I'm in my fucking prime.
Oh, must be nice. I'm not.
Hey, you just got to be in your prime, baby. Let's go.
I'm not. I'm old.
You're not old.
Yeah, I'm old.
When you start accepting you're old is when you're old.
Then I'm old.
You gotta say, I'm in my fucking prime.
No, I know better than that. When it hurts to walk up and down the stairs, you're not in your prime.
Look, I hurt every morning. Every day of my life I hurt. But it just takes me. I just gotta get the joints gotta get loose, and you gotta get, and as soon as you get going, you're ready to go. So let's do it. Let's cry. I need a rain today. I got a special flavor today too.
All right, we'll get rolling. Here we go.
You ready to roll?
Oh no, I gotta start a new one. Hold on.
Tricks on y'all. We haven't started yet. Going to a new audition file. There's a lot of green lines, squiggly lines over there.
Yeah, I can't remember which. I think that was from Hendrickson yesterday.
They look like Bitcoin and Dogecoin in the Congressional Oversight Committee. We need to talk about that today. So I should have put that on the list.
Welcome into episode 234 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Thursday. Hope everyone has a great weekend ahead. We're brought to you each and every episode by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, I am rocking with the mango today. That's right, the mango. There you go. I was debating. I almost went strawberry guava, almost went citrus zest, but I went with the mango today. So let's go. Mango is one of my favorites. It's a very, very, very generous on the old palate, Scoops. I mean, I know it's hard to understand, but the mango is very, very generous. That's me word saddling because I forgot to pull up the promo. And Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping, and it's Mega Rain Thursday, and it's going to be bumping today. And to remind everybody, check this out. At Cooper Chevrolet, they have the brand new Equinox starting at under $30,000. You can get incredible red tag offers like 0 APR on terms up to 84 months or make no payments for up to 120 days. Call our good friends at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. And as always, Scoops, we're brought to you by our good friends at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They sell and service both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. You can get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. Located right there in the great city of Grenada, Mississippi, make sure you go to the online store at ptgoutdoors.com. That's ptgoutdoors.com. Now listen here, whenever you buy anything, it doesn't matter what you buy, whenever you buy anything, from our good friends at ptgoutdoors.com. Make sure in the promo code you put the promo code MPW. What's that going to do? For the whole month of November, we are gathering everybody that buys anything from PTG Outdoors, enters the promo code MPW, is registering because my good friend Brandon is giving away a Garmin Tread. It's a power sport GPS with ride radio. Big time Christmas gift for any of your fellow outdoorsmen or outdoors women. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? How about that? How about them apples? Let's go. So that'll be fun. I've been calling it the wrong thing, I think, for the whole time. So I made sure I pulled it up so I could see it. So that's what I was doing there. I was a little delayed, little distracted, a little delayed.
Oh, you're all good.
Really good.
You're all good.
All right, Scoops. Let's start this thing off. I know you haven't seen this. I just saw it because it involved one of my good buddies. So about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, one of my really, really, really good friends, Ben Blackman, who is the head coach at Enterprise High School in Alabama. We played together in college. We hung out together. We spent a lot of time together. He was the backup quarterback, and I was a donk receiver. So we spent a lot of time together at practice. Well, he got suspended for a game it was middle of October, about a month ago. He got suspended for a game, and he got caught in the stands. Somebody in the press box took a picture and a video of him and his assistants were out scouting at a game, and one of the assistants had a phone up and was recording the sideline. And, he didn't fight it. He's like, I'll take his game suspension, whatever. And I just thought it was kind of funny. I'm going to tell you why it was funny. Well, then this week, Brian Moore, the head coach at Opelika, he said, hold my beer and watch this. So one of the greatest, I don't even know. It's hilarious to me. I started laughing. So they're playing Hoover this week in the second round of the playoffs. Opelika is.
Okay.
And he got a media credential that was supposed to be for one of the students at Opelika. And he put the media credential on and just went and stood on the sideline in a Hoover game. It was taking notes.
Why?
So he gets suspended for the game this weekend. And there's pictures, like there's people, because it's Hoover, there's media out there taking photos, and there is the clearest photo ever. And they're taking a picture of one of the Hoover players in action, like an action shot.
Yeah.
And he's sitting right behind him, clear as day, with no pad out with his credential on. And so, and ironically, I think that that's who turned Ben in, ironically. And so I got two things to say. One is that shit's funny to me. That was like an all-time funny one right there. But here, let's talk about this. All right. For those that don't know, going to games and scouting games in high school is like, this has been going on for decades. I mean, I'm talking about probably ever since high school football was invented, particularly in the state of Alabama. And so a lot of times what teams would do, and now you see Mississippi almost around the clock does at their last games. Almost everybody plays their last game on Thursday night. Mm-hmm. Well, there used to be, when I was coaching at St. Paul's, there was a rule that they only had to give you 3 games when you exchange films. And this is before, all the computer with Quick Cut and Huddle and all that stuff, right? But you only were required to swap 3 games. And so what teams would do is, like, you would go and basically watch the game live and then get your 3 games in case they were trying to hide something or whatever, right? And so you're allowed to go to games and scout. And that's what's different. That's the rule that's different between that and college, right? In college, you can't go to another coach. I couldn't go to another game. I couldn't go to a Memphis, even if you have nothing involved.
Right.
You're not allowed to go to games. That's what the whole deal with Connor Stallions, why it's such a big deal. Well, in high school, that happens if you play on a Thursday night, like when in Mobile, which you were down there covering forever. Mobile, you had Ladd Peoples Stadium. Well, their big games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so, brother, those games got scouted all the time, especially a Thursday night game and the Saturday night game. And it was nothing. And, I mean, the coaches know. I mean, in Mobile, because Williamson we would play Williamson. That was their home stadium. If Williamson was playing on a Thursday night before we played them, I would go to the press. Like, they would let you up in the press box. And it would be nothing but high school coaches in the press box at Ladd Peoples Stadium watching Williamson or whoever play on Thursday night game. That was just normal. And now if you thought that when cell phone technology come along, if nobody was going to film anything, I mean, that's kind of on the Alabama High School Athletic Association. So for me, it's like, if you're allowing them to go to games to scout, like even in Brian Moore's case, now he took it the extra step and went on the field, but he just had a notepad out. He didn't have video. He could have done the same thing in the stands and it'd been perfectly legal. That's what blows my mind. Is it's kind of like they're taking you to the bank with a gun, but telling you not to rob it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're allowing them to go to games and you think they're not going to, like, again, cell phone technology, because I'm sure, like, being in them that got caught from the press box, I will bet anything on this planet that some other coach somewhere in the state of Alabama did this, okay, at some point in time, just didn't get caught. But if you're allowing coaches to go to games and scout and take notes, and then you're going to suspend them for it, like the only thing that Brian did illegal, I guess, was on the sideline. He could have done the exact same thing he was doing from the first row of the stands.
But he misrepresented who he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was unnecessary.
It was stupid.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't want them to scout, don't. But they're getting suspended for games. I just thought I just cracked up laughing. But I really started dying when Ben, my buddy, was one of them. You should see our text message exchange. I love him though. I love him. He's the best. But my buddy, my man made national news a couple weeks ago, so I forgot to bring that up when it happened. But anyway, yeah, if you don't want them scouting, don't let them go to games. It's pretty simple. All right. And look, you're not getting it. Here's the other thing. Can I say I'm on this last topic that fans don't know this either? The stealing signals thing, because that's what everybody immediately goes to. All right. If you want to watch high school football now, you can go on. I think somebody in the chat will probably know. It's National High School Athletic Foundation or whatever. They broadcast all these games, and the state of Alabama has a deal with them. You can stream any Alabama high school game, dude. You can get all the signals from the TV copy. The way from the home team, boy, they shine that thing right there. You can watch every signal. It's streamed. Like, you don't even have to do this. This is I don't know. Little taking them to the bank with a gun and the getaway car, but tell them not to rob the bank. That's what it sounds like to me. Got a super chat from Webb Moore. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you. Says, Neal, this is for you to turn the page this Thursday after you run. Don't be so hard on yourself. You got it, man. Tyler would love some story time about the dumbest thing you have seen a player do that was funny and not sad. Oh, man. Let me think about that one for a minute, Webb. I may can think of something between now and the end of the show. The dumbest thing a player did that was funny, not sad. All right. Okay, I got one right now. We had a player fail. This has happened twice that I know of. Once was on our team. We had a starting player, fail. This is a long time ago. Fail an NCAA drug test for performance-enhancing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And he went, and it wasn't really, he didn't do steroids. He had gone to the gas station and got got some gas station Viagra.
Oh.
And 365, boss, from the day, 365-day suspension.
He really got suspended a year?
365 days. One of our starters. So, yeah, that's the dumb. I was like, it was funny, but it's like, damn, you know what I mean? But, like, he went and got dick pills from the gas station.
What a dumbass. It's undefeated.
Undefeated, untied, and unscored upon. It has caused wars.
It has. And no doubt.
All right. All right. So, all right, let's talk about this. All right, new calendar. We've talked about this a little bit. New calendar. We're entering into the month of December very shortly, here in about 2 weeks. Signing day will be out the gate. Then the portal will open, and then playoffs and all that stuff. I think this year, I'm starting to hear a little buzz. It's getting that time of the year where coaching carousel stuff starts buzzing. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about college coaches possibly going to the NFL. One, because of how many NFL openings there are. And with the calendar, the college calendar is now matching up a little bit more with the NFL coaching changes than it has in the past. And so I think what's going to get I wouldn't be surprised if I'm going to set the over-under at 2.5. College coaches leave for head coaching jobs in the NFL.
All right, so what makes you think that, though? Because the NFL's a copycat league, and that league is right now not hiring college coaches. I mean, they hired Harbaugh, but he had previous experience. And he's not lighting the world on fire with the Chargers.
They're pretty good.
Okay, but they're not like running.
But he was. I don't even count him because he was an NFL guy before.
Everybody else that's getting those gigs is coordinators.
Yeah, so
they're hiring they're hiring a coordinator from a team that makes a deep playoff run, and that guy takes a deal. And like Dan Campbell's,
I know
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
do. So, but the reason is the jobs that are coming open.
I know there's some Dan Lanning talk today that some people are sarcastically going, "Well, that's just agents driving this." Sometimes agents drive these things, but it's not the way you think agents drive these things. Agents don't call the media and go, "Hey, do me a favor and put this guy, connect him with X job." It just doesn't really work like that, because the reporters, if an agent called me and said, "Hey, I know you're covering Ole Miss, right? Connect Kiffin to the Saints job," I'd say, "Well, is it true? I mean, is that real?" Because I don't want to write that and then 5 media outlets in New Orleans immediately respond with, "No, it's total horseshit."
Right.
So it doesn't, the way fans think media and agents interact is incorrect. Like, there's a dance that happens a little bit, but there also comes a point in those conversations where you're like, "Hey, I got to know what's going on. Like, you're going to have to fill me in a little bit. I can't just go with this."
No,
you got to validate. So if someone said, "Hey, I hear the Saints and Kiffin are connected." Okay, I'm interested. I'm going to reach out to some people in New Orleans first and foremost and find out, is there anything to that? Have you heard that name? Because obviously at that point I'm tipping them off. So I'm journalistically trying to be careful because I'd like to have the story to myself.
Right.
But I'm going to have more than that. So when people start connecting Dan Lanning to NFL jobs, it tells me that NFL people who cover the NFL are hearing his name. Now, is it possible that that's because Lanning's representation is throwing his name around a little bit? I mean, sure, but it's usually more than that.
Yeah. So
that's the reason
I've heard some rumblings myself just through the coaching world. It's that time of the year. Everybody wants to talk about coaching changes. But it's more, in fact, for me, is twofold. One is how the calendar lines up more with the NFL calendar this year than in past years. And then two is it's the jobs that are coming open. So the Jets are open, the Saints are open, the Jags are probably going to come open, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Browns, the Giants. Like there are a bunch. There are going to be a bunch of NFL openings, and they're all lower level. I call them lower level franchises. Besides, obviously, the Giants and all that stuff, they're different. But when you're talking about the Jets, the Saints, the Raiders, the Jaguars, that they are desperate for something, right? Some kind of change, some kind of something. And I think it's going to be at least 2, maybe 3.
College coaches
that leave and take NFL jobs. And I think when you're looking at the supply, right? I think Flores gets another shot. It's at Minnesota, DC now. I thought he did a great job in Miami before he got fired. And then look, you got Vrabel sitting out there.
Yeah.
You got Vrabel sitting out there. And if he ever wanted to do it again, you got a guy named Bill Belichick that's sitting out there. So there are guys sitting out there, but I think that's where, and if you look at the coordinators that took off and left and took these jobs, you're like, well, do we want to take a shot at him, or are we going to take let's take a shot at this guy and see what happens if he's won or whatever. But I've heard more than just, Dan Lanning thing. I'd heard that before. I guess somebody reported it today or yesterday, but I'd heard his name beforehand, but I wouldn't even think about him. It was more somebody else I'd been thinking about. And no, it wasn't Lane Kiffin.
Well, the thing is if the money is basically the same in today's era, if you asked 100 coaches, 99 would say, "Send me to the NFL."
But it's actually more too, right? Like the way the NFL is paying probably 3 to 4 on average more a year than what they're getting paid
for head coaches.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what an NFL head coach makes.
Some of them. Like the high end ones are going to make between 15 and 18.
Okay. Yeah. If you can get that money, and
I guarantee you, Harbaugh's making every bit of that.
If you can get that money and get away from the college game and into the pro game, where you eliminate 2/3 of the headache, Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, the college game's stupid right now. People love it. You're free to love it. I like it. I can still call it insane.
It's tough to function in.
I mean, it's just there's no
continuity in roster.
Well, like we're coming up on a period where teams we're literally 3 weeks from a period where it's stupid. I mean, it's really stupid.
It really is.
I mean, I dread it. Like the period that's coming up where the portal's open, guys are taking portal visits, while 12 teams are preparing for playoff games.
And if you don't have guys that are taking visits, you're hosting someone.
Yeah, and so there's nothing even resembling a break.
No.
Right. So you got the portal. So they're gonna have rivalry week, and then the week of the championship games, you're gonna have signing day. And agree, the signing day is not as dramatic as it used to be. Most of everything's done. And so there might be some drama on a couple of guys, but for the most
very little.
But for the most part, you got that kind of locked down, right? That's fine. So you get that done. Now you've got 2.5 weeks to prepare for playoff games, knowing that if you win those games, like if you play on the 21st and win, you immediately have to like get your plans in order to go to a bowl game. And like
10 days later.
Well, but it's not 10 days later. Think about it. Because the Peach Bowl is a national quarterfinal game on January the 1st. Okay. They want the teams there like it's a traditional bowl. So if you win a game on the 21st, your people are waking up. Well, they're not even going to bed, but essentially waking up on the 22nd, and you've got to plan an entire bowl trip, something that usually takes 3 weeks. They're doing it in 3 days because you've got to get everybody, and you've got Christmas in the middle of that. A lot of these people actually have families, and Santa Claus makes his trip and stuff. So you got to do that, and then you got to get your team to Atlanta or where the other games, Dallas. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Rose Bowl and Peach Bowl, right?
Yes, there's 4 of them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're good.
You got to get them to 4 places. You got to get
Rose, Sugar, Peach, Cotton.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. You got to get people to those places. So, and you're still trying to finalize your roster. There's guys on your roster that are looking at things going, all right, well, I want to get in the portal. I got a better deal somewhere else. Someone's offered me more money. I want to go whatever. You've got all this stuff. And from a coaching standpoint, as soon as the January rolls around, you're still in the portal. You're still trying to get guys in on visits. And then the way that the calendar works, you're jumping right into the juniors immediately because the recruiting calendar, but there's just never a moment where it just kind of stops. And they've tried to like slow it down a little bit in the summer, but so far they failed.
Right. No, 100%. I'll be interested to see. I would love to be Alex Collins or Billy Glasscock that goes, hey, Lane, look, I know you're watching film right now of practice and we got to leave in 2 days. Hey, I need you to go to dinner tonight. This portal guy. Good luck with that conversation.
It's not realistic. I mean, that's my point. So
good luck to you, boys.
So what they're going to do instead, what the programs that make the playoff, they're going to say, hey, look, let's try to keep guys. Let's work some guys, but let's wait and bring them to campus in January. But what if you're a team that wins a game on January 1st?
Right.
Now you're playing another bowl game on January the 10th, and they're going to want you in their place by like the 6th or 7th.
Yeah. No, I've been there.
And so you get hey man, and then there's going to be 2 teams that play a game on January the 20th.
One of the hardest things I ever had to do in recruiting, so logistics is obviously a really big part of that job, right? And so this period, the first period now has been alleviated a little bit with signing day, but how it used to be and then how it is in January and all that stuff is what you're talking about. Is like, used to be you would have 2 weeks of contact period in December. And it stunk because you're trying to go see all your guys. Coach Saban want to see all the guys at first. Well, so you'd have a plan for 2 weeks. All right. But here was the trick. is if you made it to the SEC championship game, you could throw that damn thing in the trash. So you had to come up with a 1-week plan and a 2-week plan.
Mm-hmm.
And brother, and so whatever you do in these first 2 weeks, because the head coach can only go see them one time,
Right?
So you couldn't go back and see them, dude. You talking about, because when you're doing logistics and you're talking about the head coach, you move one puzzle piece, you might as well just throw the whole thing in the trash can because it messes everything up logistically. That was one of the biggest nightmares that I would have to do every single year. Is you have to have a 2-way plan. And like kick 6 year, we went with a 2-week plan because that kicked us out of the SEC championship game. Next year, we went to the SEC championship game and played Missouri, so we had to go the 1-week plan. But having to have 2 complete plans that look totally different based on if you win a game on Saturday or not.
Right.
And that's what you're talking about that they would have to do. It's a nightmare logistic-wise.
Well, and the point of it is that for some of these coaches, they just look at this and go, this is insane. And if you can go to the NFL where you don't deal with all of that stuff, you just
coach ball, man.
You just coach ball if that's what you want to do. Yeah, I can see it. I guess my question would be, and we'll see, we'll find out.
Yep.
Is that the path that the NFL starts to take?
I do. I think there's going to be at least 2, maybe 3. All right. In weirdness of the NFL, speaking of the NFL, the Colts, after saying that our boy was going to be starting the rest of the year, have now reversed course. Said they named Joe Flacco the starter for the rest of the year the other day. They have now reversed course and said that AR, as my man Coach JB says on the Coach JB show, IR5, they have now named him the starter for the remainder of the season, starting with the Jets.
That'll go over well in the locker room.
Yeah, 2 weeks after you benched him for the rest of the season, you decided to bench the other guy and bring him back. That should go well. And they're going to play the Jets of all people. So if they're going to win a game, it's this weekend because the Jets are the biggest enigma of the NFL for me in recent history. All these dudes and can't win games. It's always been a roster problem with them. Well, that's not a roster problem, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. But yeah, so IR5, according to what Coach JB calls them, cracks me up. Will be starting again moving forward for the Colts this week as they play the Jets. I really immediately went right to see who they were playing when I heard this and was going to lock it in for a pick until I saw it was the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's not on my list.
It's like, damn. All right, last thing, we'll get to picks. According to thewolverine.com, that is an On3 site, Michigan is prepared to offer 5-star quarterback Bryce Underwood $10.5 million over a 4-year period.
Okay.
This is kind of on the heels of Dave Portnoy. He's a big Michigan fan. He came out and said whatever it takes, he will buy a quarterback, whatever it takes. And it looks like they're taking him up on it. With that being said, I would really, really like to see how this deal is structured. We never will because things aren't transparent. So to pull the curtain back a little bit for the fans here, a lot of these contracts are being structured where, let's say for even numbers' sake, okay, let's just do this for even numbers. Let's say a kid's making $1 million. They will basically take $500,000 of that, and that's what would be spread out over his monthly period time over the length of the year, right? And then he would get 25% of it after the winter portal closes and 25% after the spring portal closes to basically incentivize them to stay. That's kind of how a normal contract works.
Okay.
10.5 over 4 years. Look, you don't want to be invested. Like, this is a shocking one to me, and Bryce Underwood is so talented. He's legit. He's really talented. But with that being said, I mean, he deserves every star. He'd be a 10-star. I don't know if I would ever invest that kind of money in a high school quarterback. Portal quarterback, yes, because they've shown me you don't have 4 years. I would like to see how backloaded this contract is. Would you pay a high school kid, knowing the bust rate of quarterbacks, that much money?
Here's the part that I can't answer. I don't know what I don't know what the budgets are. I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing? I mean, how does the contract work? Is it a real contract? Is it enforceable? Is it something that he could sue on? What are we doing with rev share? How does this work? Is this on top of rev share? What does this mean? I go back to my point about college coaches. If I were a college coach and I could get out to the NFL, I'm gone. This is stupid. Not, hey, listen, I'm all for Bryce Underwood and any other kid. Get your bag. Good for you. But this isn't like a professional contract where you sign with the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
Okay? And you sign with the Saints and you sign a 4-year deal worth
whatever,
$13 million. And they'll tell you, hey, $9 million of this is guaranteed. This percentage of it is a signing bonus. Everything in that contract is enforceable.
Correct.
Legally.
Correct.
Including out clauses, morality clauses, you get a felony, whatever the case may be, right? All of those things that can cancel it, bonus structure, notice of termination, all of that stuff is in the contract.
Correct.
Well, that's a pretty easy thing to manage because there's a written document that's legally enforceable. Who does he sign with? The Michigan Collective?
Yeah, I mean,
the University of Michigan?
I mean, share and all that, right?
What is it? And then how does this work? I mean, where like I don't think these people would object to me talking about this. I was talking to 3 national people, 2 of which were Chris Lowe, Andy Staples. Andy's with On3. Very connected people who believe thoroughly, based on their contacts, and they have a lot of contacts, that the rev share thing is kicking in because the schools are fast reaching the point, and there are exceptions here and there, but the schools are reaching a point where they just are not comfortable going back to the donors and asking for more.
Yeah, booster fatigue is real.
And asking for more and asking for more and asking for more. They're just not comfortable with it anymore. It's not a good system. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The rev share thing kind of evens the playing field out. So what you'd have to ask, and I don't know the answer to this, is this $10.5 million or whatnot over 4 years, is that money that's coming from the rev share,
right?
Or is that money that's on top of the rev share? And yeah. I don't know the answer.
That's what I said. I'd like to see I'd like to see what it's about. But even if it whatever, even that, I get the point. But like freshman quarterbacks are going to. It takes a while, man. I was sitting there. We were doing a TikTok live the other day, and I was trying to explain. I said, okay. I said, how many true freshman quarterbacks right now do you know that are playing quarterback in the NCAA? Everybody comes up with one guy, Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
Everybody else, it takes time, and it takes time to develop, and that's just dude, from a coaching standpoint, you ain't got time. You got to go. And so for me, I don't know. That's a lot of freaking money to invest in a high school kid. Now, if he comes and improves it, abso-freaking-lutely. But from a high school, that's a lot of damn money to invest in a guy that you just don't. I mean, he is talented. Film is great. He would be a guy that back in the old days would be well taken care of, all that stuff. But
so here's your question: if you're LSU, right? That's who's trying to lock him up.
Yeah, he's committed to LSU.
If you're LSU, commitment doesn't mean a damn thing.
I'm saying, but that's
I get
you know
it.
what I'm saying.
If you're committed to LSU, LSU's trying to get him. If you're LSU, you have 2 questions. Number one, is that real? Is that a real offer? Is that a real thing we're having to battle? And it's not like if you were the Saints, right? If I'm the Falcons and we're competing for the same player in free agency, and I hear, hey, he's got an offer from the Saints for 4 years, $13 million, I can call New York and I can ask, hey, is that real?
There's a lot of this going on, what you're talking about. A lot of it.
Is that paperwork? I mean, is that paperwork legit? Is that they truly gave him an offer sheet? And someone in the NFL office will go, yeah. Okay, well, now as a Falcon, I know, okay, all right, New Orleans has given him an offer for this. We have to decide, is it worth it to us to beat that offer, or do we punt on this player and move to the next player? It's a simple decision.
Yep.
You can sit there and go, I can't believe the Saints did it. Well, they did it. So what you've got now with this is if you're Brian Kelly and you're the people at LSU, is that real? I don't know. Can anyone show us how that's structured? No. So I have to decide if I think it's real, and now is it worth it for me to go above that? And then how do I do that? How do we structure? No, he wants $15 million over 4 years. Okay. Well, we've determined that by God, we have to have this kid. So, okay, $15 million. How do we do that? Like, how do we structure that where we're safe?
Yeah.
Like, do we give him half of it up front? where he gets $7.5 million, and then he turns out, let's say he turns out to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's Joe Burrow meets Bo Jackson meets Herschel Walker. And now, like the kid at South Carolina, Dylan Stewart, has a big-time year, and now you got all these schools that are tampering the hell out of Dylan Stewart, offering him whatever. And if you're South Carolina, you're like, okay, look, we want to keep him. We're going to do what it takes to keep him, but we don't want to bid against ourselves either, not knowing what's coming with rev share. It's the problem with the college game. It's where people go, well, I don't think it should be transparent. It should absolutely be transparent. If you're going to make this professional sports, then effing make it professional sports. Make the contracts public. And that way, it's not for the fans to know. And the fans will find out. But ultimately, what it serves is it lets the other schools know, okay, here's the market. We have decisions to make. Right? If you're a baseball team and you're bidding for Juan Soto right now, you pretty much know where the market is. Now, you have a decision to make about whether you are in on that market or not. You might decide, nope, that's too rich for us. Okay. But you knew where the market was. Or no, we think that's too many years. But this is like, how do you structure a deal?
Yeah. I mean, if I was paying the guy $10.5 million over 4 years and I thought he was that good, I can go ahead and tell you year 4 would have like $5 million in it. Because if he's as good as we all think he is, okay, he's going to go pro after 3 years.
But is he But is he committed to this deal? Like, that's my question. Because he can get out of this deal. All he has to do is go, screw it, I'm in the portal. I mean, that's the problem with the deal is like, if you told a football team, okay, you can sign this quarterback to a 5-year deal. Oh, but by the way, if he wants to get out after the first year, he can. They'd say, well, now, wait a minute. That's going to change the way that we structure the deal. Like, and you see that in professional sports, especially in baseball. There's opt-outs, right?
Yeah, Garrett Cole did it and then came back.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger had an opt-out in his deal. He elected to stay. And there was a time where he had a window where he had to give the Cubs an answer. Why? Because the Cubs have to know moving forward, are you and your allotted salary on our books or are you off our books?
Yeah.
You don't have that in this. This is so idiotic. And everybody goes, you just don't want the kid to get paid. No, I'm all for Bryce Underwood getting paid. But like when I say, well, how does that work? How does the contract work? I don't know. Well, that's an insufficient answer. I mean, is it front loaded? Is it back loaded? Are there opt outs? Can he still opt out? Is he locked in? Who's the contract with? I don't know. The contract's with Dave Portnoy? Okay, so he's working for Barstool? Like, how does that work? What if Dave Portnoy has a wild hair and decides, you know what, I'm not a Michigan fan anymore. I'm a
Ohio State.
Texas fan.
Let's go Ohio State. Let's go dark.
All right, I'm an Ohio State fan. So we're going to switch? I mean, it's all stupid. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, we're doing a show that's built around college football for the most part. I don't understand how fans don't go, this is kind of crazy. And I know we just love the craziness. And as long as our team wins. But when your team doesn't win and you look at this and you go, wait, what are we doing? Like, this is all incredibly flawed. And I understand now why the people that work at these collectives at places that aren't winning right now, and let's be clear, the people at the collectives aren't the reason they're losing.
Correct.
When they go, this is getting impossible. Like, you're going back to the same people over and over. We need more. For what? Well, we're going to try to buy this player. And he's going to do what? He's going to get me to what? Can you guarantee? No, I can't guarantee anything. Okay, but so why am I doing this? I mean, that's where we're going with this. Like, why? So if you're LSU, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, if you're sitting in a room and you're trying to determine whether this is worth doing, you can't even get the base information to start making decisions. I think it's incredibly flawed. Now, good for On3 for writing this, assuming it's accurate. Good for them because it's the stuff that we need to be writing more of, that these are the offers that these kids are getting. Because every other high school quarterback's going to look at that now and go, oh, so he can get
the one.
He can get 11. All right, he's a 5-star. I'm a 4-star, so take 25% off. So I'm worth 8, right? And now the schools go, no, dude, we can't give. If I'm gonna give a quarterback $1.5 million a year, he's coming in to be my guy. He's winning games for me, not my third team guy developing. Also with the option to decide that this development shit sucks. I want to go to X. I should have gone there anyway.
Yeah. In the Cooper Chevrolet chat, Mark and JM both say the same thing. Both said salary cap, and the one said make public, and then salary caps will from them automatically. That's why we're in the mess we're in to begin with, because you can't restrict their earning potential. So there is a belief, and I think that's where everybody wants to give this revenue sharing a try, that it's going to create some kind of control of cap. But again, this goes back to the whole thing we've talked about on the show, and I'm not even doing it, but we've talked about 800 episodes, pick one, about until there is, and Scoops has said it until he's tired of talking about it, until there is a players union that agrees all of this is literally doing nothing but going to go up until that happens. There's got to be collective bargaining, or we're wasting time. The players have to unionize because they don't agree to shit. I'll say something. I can say something. I had a conversation with somebody in the NCAA. This would have been the day I left the show, Tuesday. Call them away to the house. They even know it. The second they know it, there are lawyers lined up. The second this revenue share goes in, they're lined up.
Of course.
They're ready to go.
1 million,
like,
absolutely.
Paperwork ready to go.
Of course.
They know it's coming.
Of course. Why would the players agree to that?
It's just as we talked about, and I said, so you're telling me what I thought the whole time, which is we're kicking the can down the road. Yes.
Yes.
Somebody that works, that's employed, that lives in Indianapolis, that works for the NCAA. They know.
I've never been a lawyer a day in my life, and the minute that someone told me that, I'm like, well, that's not going to work. Everybody's going to sue.
Yeah.
If I knew that and I have no legal background, imagine what people with legal backgrounds thought. They're like, this is an easy lawsuit. You can't enforce a salary cap on someone that hasn't been agreed to by them. The NFL has a salary cap, but it was collectively bargained by the Players Association, meaning they had attorneys representing the players, communicating with the players who were negotiating with the owners at the table. And when the deal was agreed to, it had to be ratified by the players. They literally had to go, okay, yep, all right, that's the deal. Okay, yep, yes, signed. And it has terms on it, like 6 years or 7 years or whatever. And that's a binding legal agreement. And then at the end of that term, they have to go back to the negotiating table and agree to a new deal, because the old deal literally has an expiration date that when it expires, it's no longer binding. College football has nothing. There are no guardrails. You're just flying down the mountain with nothing. And everybody goes, well, it's not going to crash. Want to bet?
Hey, you'll like this. So the person I talked to was really cool. And so I said, look, all right. I said, I have a question. I said, all right, let's talk about revenue sharing. So, all right, what do you got? I said, so you're telling me they're going to give a finite number of revenue sharing. He goes, let me guess, you're about to say that nobody on the player side has agreed to that number. I said, yep. He started laughing. He goes, they're already lined up, boss.
Yeah, of course.
They're already lined up.
Of course.
All right.
That's why when you're in professional sports, and I'll move on off this, it's mind-numbingly simple. Professional players, when they get drafted, they get immediately brought into the deal. That's just you join the deal.
Yeah.
And so they're rookie scale deals.
Yeah.
So you sort of know what you're going to make and how you're going to make more, and there's incentives and things of that nature. So it's anyway.
Scoops, you know what they need? You know what would really get all of this fixed? Let me tell you do you know what would get all of this fixed right now? How we could fix this at a lunch meeting?
Oh, yeah. And this would be a drinking lunch.
I mean,
we
could double this. We could take our sponsors to this meeting.
We could.
And close them out.
So what we would do is we would say, hey, listen, guys, calm down. We're going to get this worked out. Hey, by the way, have you had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce? And they'd say, nugs dipped in sauce?
Did you say nugs?
That's what I said. I said, well, hey, have you had them covered in sauce? Because Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you already love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's. And speaking of ghost.
Did you say ghost?
I said ghost. Speaking of ghost, Ghost in the Machine. It's made by our great friends at Parish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. This all started when their founder, Andrew, moved from Louisiana to Pittsburgh. He discovered a thriving craft beer scene, and he said, you know what? When I get back to Louisiana, I'm going to figure out what that is. He did. He recognized the lack of breweries in Louisiana. He set out to create part of what is now a thriving craft brew industry, and part of that thriving is Ghost in the Machine. It's gained a tolerance for hops beyond what mankind has ever known before. It's a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from their favorite farm. I'm told I'm mispronouncing this name. I thought it was Yakima. They're saying it's, I think, Yakima, whatever.
One of the two.
Yakima Valley, Washington. You can expect pungent grapefruit aromas and flavors, tropical fruit, and less harsh bitterness than most double IPAs. So the next time you are shopping for beer, grocery store, craft beer store, whatever the case may be, look for anything you can find from my friends at Parish Brewing Company. You won't regret it.
And when we're on our way to the meeting, before we actually crack open the Ghost in the Machine, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to Wendy's and get some saucy nugs, and we're going to go through the drive-thru with our Kia from Kia of Meridian. Are you looking for an unbeatable deal? Kia of Meridian has you covered with rates as low as 1.9% on new rides. Whether it's the ever-popular Telluride, the Sorrento, the Sportage, or the K5, we've got something for everyone, plus a huge selection of new and used vehicles. And here's the best part. With any new or used vehicle, you will get a chance to spin the wheel to win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian or call 601-483-6444. And you, Scoops, and we will tell the NCAA and we will tell the Players Union that you guys can drive away a winner today. Kia of Meridian, your road, your ride, your deal.
There you go.
I'm getting these like readers. I mean, I'm having fun with them.
That's good. You should.
Let's do it. Scoops, you know what time it is?
Yeah. Just make it rain Thursday.
It's time for Make It Rain Thursday. And here we go. My man Scoops has cut into the lead, partially because he had a hell of a week in the NFL, and your boy has stunk it up for the last 2 weeks. So I got to get my shit together. I have studied. I'm ready to go. It's a shitty week of football, but by gosh, I like the picks. Okay. Scoops is 53, 61, and 2, down 5.33 units. I am butt-ass even, 57, 57, and 2, plus 1.35 units. So going into this week, I'm up 6.68 units. He's cut it down from 18 to 6 in 2 weeks. Here we go. College football, 5 picks against the spread and 1 against the money line. Scoops, I got enough of my pool, so I'm going to let you go. I think I got enough to move around no matter what happens.
All right, I'm starting in Gainesville, Florida. LSU is in Gainesville playing the Gators. This line's 4. It's a trap. I know it's a trap. I'm just hereby stepping into the trap. I don't get it. Give me LSU, which still has life.
They do.
LSU
somehow
-4 in Gainesville. Give me the Tigers -4.
Yeah, I think Lagway's going to. I would be shocked if he didn't try to go. And I'll tell you this: if you're betting with LSU and Lagway doesn't come out of the huddle, it's over.
You're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Like literally last week. I mean, the quarterback probably cost him 21, 28 points by himself for Texas.
Yeah.
But look, Florida's playing well to the point to where if Lagway plays, they have a chance here, especially being at home. But then you got LSU has to do something in the running game, man. Their run fits are not very good right now. They got to get that. They got to get that settled up, ready to go. All right, Scoops. My first game. One of my really good friends on this planet is the head coach of a football team. And not only is he the head coach of a football team, I think he's the head coach of a football team that's the best Group of 5 team in the NCAA.
Yep.
I am biased, but that is an unbiased opinion. The Tulane Green Wave and the Fighting John Summeralls are traveling to Annapolis, Maryland to take on the Navy midshipmen. Navy's struggling a little bit. They got thwarted by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and then they traveled to Rice and they got just their ass kicked in a 9-hour rain delay. Tulane is favored by 7 points on the road in Annapolis this weekend. And guess what, Scoops?
It's not enough.
It's not enough. Give me the Tulane Green Wave -7 on the road at Navy this weekend.
All right. A team that I think in the national conversation people are kind of sleeping on a little bit. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Go look at Notre Dame's numbers over the last 4 weeks. They're destroying teams. Just whacking teams. They get Virginia coming in off a big win over Pitt. Virginia is getting 22.5 points in South Bend on Saturday. And as you would say, it's not enough. Notre Dame's going to blow them out. Give me Notre Dame -22.5. Notre Dame is making sure Riley Leonard's playing really well. They kind of had that Northern Illinois loss for them was a galvanizing thing instead of a destructive thing. Notre Dame's a contender now. Defensively, their metrics are off the charts.
No, they are playing really well. Scoops, Saturday, there's a game in South Bend, Indiana, when the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are taking on Virginia. I didn't know if you had heard about that or not. And Notre Dame is favored by 22.5. And guess what, Scoops?
I don't know.
It's too much.
Oh, okay, good.
Give me Tony Elliott and the Cavaliers traveling to South Bend this weekend.
Good.
And look, I came this close to making it my money line. I think they may even win the damn game outright. I may even sprinkle a little bit on my own on the money line at plus 1,100. I love the Virginia Cavaliers plus 22.5 in South Bend this weekend. Give me Tony Elliott.
Okay, fair enough. Boston College made a quarterback change this week.
Yes, they did.
They head to SMU. The Ponies. All the Ponies need to do is win the rest of the way. They don't have to get style points. They just need to win, and they're going to win on Saturday. But they're going to win by less than 19. Give me Boston College.
Wow.
Boston College plus 19. In Highland Park.
My boys in Highland Park. I'm just telling. Here's what's scary. All kidding aside, these guys, they raised $150 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's not even taking effect this year. It'll be next year.
I know.
ACC on watch. They are playing SMU. All kidding aside, when they went to Jennings at quarterback, they're playing well on defense. Mm-hmm. They got playmakers. They are good. A fun team to watch.
They're legit.
It's a shitty weekend for football. We got Murray State playing Kentucky. We got Mercer playing Alabama. I encourage all of you guys to take a peek at the SMU Mustangs. They are a fun team to watch, and they are going to be hell here in a few weeks. Look out for the Mustangs, ACC champs. They're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Scoops. Let me see which ones I want to go with here. So I'm going to make that one my money line. All right, that's 2. All right, I'm going to go with this one. The Missouri Tigers, playoff hopes, traveling to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You got this one?
Nope.
Okay.
Thought about it.
Okay. Missouri's traveling to South Carolina. They're taking on the Fighting Gamecocks. Ever since Brady Cook went out against Alabama, it's been downhill ride since then.
Yes.
Eli is trying to convince the world that they're still a playoff team.
Well, he should.
And he should.
It's his job.
It's his job. He should. Doing his job. But he's taken on arguably one of the hottest teams in the country. And why did they get smoked by Alabama? Because they couldn't protect the quarterback. Give me the South Carolina Gamecocks minus 13.5 at home against the fighting Eli Drinkowitz. Give me South Carolina minus 13.5 at home against Missouri.
Yeah, I like that one too. All right, I'm going back to my home state of Louisiana. My arch rival, the team we're supposed to hate the most.
You're talking about the second best Group of 5 team in the country?
The Louisiana Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns.
They don't like that anymore. They like for you to call them the University of Louisiana.
I like for you to tell me that I have a head full of hair. I like for you to tell me that I look really fit these days.
It is not ULL anymore. It's UL.
I like a lot of things.
University of Louisiana.
At Lafayette. Is what it is.
The Ragin' Cajuns.
They play South Alabama on Saturday in Lafayette.
Big game.
Big rivalry. Big game. Big game. If I'm ULL, I'm starting to go, hey, you know what? Got to have a little help, but we got to do our part too. And they're going to do their part. ULL minus 7 against South Alabama.
Are you going against my Jags?
I am.
Are you going against my Jags?
I am. Sorry.
Unbelievable.
ULL minus 7.
Gio Lopez and the South Alabama Jags. All kidding aside, ULL, what makes them different is they are good up front, dude. For a Group of 5 team,
yep.
they are good. They are better than a lot of Power 5 up front on both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball.
They got that part figured out, and they are doing really well. I think they are the second best Group of 5 team in the country, in my opinion, behind Tulane.
The only one that they lost to all year is Tulane.
And that was not a. The score is not indicative of what the game was like.
Right.
It was a back and forth game. They just got on the wrong side of a turnover. It got outscored. All right. Scoop's my 4th game. The Tennessee Vols are traveling to Athens, Georgia. And the Georgia Bulldogs are limping into this game. And they lost last week to the first team not named Alabama since the Wuhan flu escaped monkey asses out of a lab in China.
Yep.
Oh, that's for sure. Get me a strike somewhere. Looking for the strikes. I got a red one across the top. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't like that.
They're especially where that app's generated.
I mean, mask up.
Well, I talk bad about their home country.
Yeah. So please mask this weekend. Be safe out there.
That's right.
Keep your distance.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we're not on TikTok Live tomorrow, you'll know why. But Neal, the Tennessee Vols are traveling. The Georgia Bulldogs are just limping in. And that's right where Kirby Smart wants them. Sure, he would prefer to be a 1-loss team. He's a 2-loss team. He will not be a 3-loss team. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs minus 10. Hell, take them at minus 30. I don't care. The Georgia Bulldogs are about to go all over Smokey. Uga is going to get all up in. Be careful.
Don't be.
Smokey's crack. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs minus 10 at home against the Tennessee Vols.
For the record, he is not advocating violence for the canines. What we do advocate is that you wear a mask, keep your distance, and listen, it's not too late to vote for Kamala Harris. Vote twice. Vote 3 times. We'd also like to take this moment to recognize President Biden and all of his greatness over the last almost 4 years. It's amazing how spry he seems to be. And we would just like to thank him for his service to our country.
Fleet of foot.
All right, my 5th game. I have no idea why I'm going with this game. I didn't really have any games that I liked, if I'm honest. This was a hard slate. Illinois coming off an open date. They get senior day at home. They got some injuries. They got some issues. But they get Michigan State in Champaign. Last game, senior day. I'm kind of a senior day guy. I think if you did the metrics, you'd find that teams win most of the time on senior day. Give me Illinois minus 3 at home against Michigan State.
It's in my pool, dog.
Is it?
Yeah. Good pick. Like your pick. I actually like that one a lot.
Okay.
I like it a lot. I think it's a really good matchup for Illinois. All right, so here are the ones I have left in my pool. This is my last pick before I go money line. The ones I have left in my pool is I have Wyoming at Colorado State. Colorado State's minus 9.5. I like Colorado State.
Okay.
I I got the Arizona State, Kansas State over 50.5.
Okay.
Wanabu, I don't know if he is playing or not, the running back for Arizona State. I know he's been dinged up. I don't know if he's going, but I still like the over there. And then I think I'm going here. I'm taking this bad boy all the way to Saturday night. I'm like astonished at this line. So I'm going to fall right up in this trap.
All right.
The Washington State Cougars
Mm-hmm.
are traveling to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Washington State sneaky had a really good year.
They're ranked number 18.
Yeah.
They've lost one game.
That's what I'm saying.
They've lost one game to Boise on the road early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Washington State is a 10.5-point favorite at New Mexico. And I've watched New Mexico's play for whatever reason like 3 or 4 times this year. They're not very good. They can't fit the run for shit. They need to, here's what Washington State needs to do. They need to drop back, look for number 1, the safety, the weak side safety. Because I'm telling you, I'm now, since yesterday, I'm 47 years old now, and they cannot, I don't think.
Was yesterday your birthday?
It was.
Oh, happy birthday.
They can't cover me. And I could go for at least, I could have a Jamar Chase day.
Did you get a cake?
I got an ice cream cake.
Oh, how about that?
Ice cream cake. That's my jam.
How
Mint
about
chocolate chip.
Okay.
Mint chocolate chip is my
what
favorite.
flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip.
That's my favorite ice cream flavor.
They put candles on it?
No. You know what my little shit 8-year-old told me? Said they don't sell candles with that many they don't sell boxes of candles with that many candles in it. It's like, damn.
Might be true.
I just thought that's when I told him I'm in my prime, dog. I'm in my prime.
Did you get presents?
No. We went and ate wings and played golf in the simulator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we did. It was just great. I'm not a big birthday guy.
I'm not either.
So I've never been able to celebrate it because it's always in the middle of football season. Not a big birthday guy. Don't care. Just another day.
48?
47.
47.
47. In my prime. In my prime.
Probably-
Scoops the Washington State Cougars.
Okay.
It's not enough. Give me the Washington State Cougars minus 10.5.
Yep. That's a good pick.
Minus 10.5 on the road at New Mexico.
That's probably a really good pick. I mean, I didn't find many money lines that I liked. This was a hard week.
I only got 2.
I mean, I'd started to do the silly thing where I took ULM, but I've done that twice in a row. It's not working. They're not beating Auburn. I mean, they're not. They got to beat Auburn. They might cover that line, but they're not beating Auburn.
Who's playing quarterback at Auburn?
I don't think it's going to be Peyton Thorne.
That's what I'm saying. He shouldn't. He should play the. He should play the. He should. All kidding aside, if I was Hugh, Peyton Thorne would not play another snap. I'd play all the young ones and see what you have and decide what you got to do. But you know what you got to do, but decide how many guys you got to go get. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm doing one of the style things here. Air Force is a home dog against Oregon State. Oregon State getting kind of struggling a little. Air Force.
They've lost 4 in a row or 5 in a row. Oregon State has.
Air Force
They're
appears
2-7.
Yeah, Air Force appears to be figuring a couple things out. It's a simple little money line. Give me Arizona plus 130 at home against Oregon State in front of the Beavers.
All right, Scoops. I had 2.
So you got Cox winning and Beavers losing this week.
Probably should be the other way around. For the dub.
I mean, usually
For the dub.
that's how that works.
Yep. All right, Scoops. You know what time it is? Moneyline time. I thought long and hard, no diddy, about my money line this week. And I had 2. I was going to take the line in one, which I did earlier.
Yep.
One of the money lines that I had, I was going for your nuts with Virginia at plus 1,100, and I didn't take it. So I decided to go with the other one. Love it. I love this pick.
Okay.
Neal, there's a game on Saturday.
Well, there are multiple games on Saturday.
About 60 of them.
Yep.
Per sources. And you know what? I'm feeling a little bit like, you know when like you get a feeling like of the universe is trying to tell you something?
Okay.
Do you know what I did last night?
I do not. Well, you had wings.
Yep. But before that,
Okay.
I helped my son fill out a college application somewhere.
Young Jackson Siskey.
My young Jackson. I helped him fill out a college application somewhere.
Jackson's 17, about to turn 18, or is he already 18?
He's 18. He's an OG. We held him back.
Okay. 18-year-old Jackson Siskey making a college decision.
Yep.
What's Jackson's ACT score? Pretty high, right?
33.
33.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
Aaron's bright. Damn, Aaron. I mean, I knew you were smart, but because you have to counteract the whole.
Fun fact: did you know my wife went from 1st to 4th grade? Fun fact.
Oh yeah, I get it. I mean, listen.
She graduated high school at 15 years old.
I mean, I'm not.
Fun fact.
I know how things work.
And she's that smart, and she married me. Figure that.
So there's the egg and the sperm thingy.
Yeah.
Right. So he made a 33.
Definitely got my genetics on that.
So it means, I mean, she had to really be smart to carry that much through.
Right.
Wow.
Hey,
okay,
I
so
do.
Anyway, so
I do have a master's degree, those Scoops. Just want to say, in education.
Yeah, I've got one from University of Louisiana at Monroe.
Just saying.
I walked in and I signed a thing, and they said, "Would you like your degree?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Here."
I'm not completely as dumb as I sound. I'm actually
All right, so I interrupted your story.
That's okay.
You were filling out.
I was helping to fill out a college application, and I looked in
application.
that school. By gosh, they're underdogs this week. And I said, I think this is the universe trying to send me a sign.
Oh,
Scoops.
Mm-hmm.
My money may be heading to Pig Suey. Give me the Razorbacks plus 425.
Wow.
To beat Texas outright in Fayetteville this weekend.
That would shake it up. That would shake it up. Now, you do know if he goes there and when they do the orientation thing.
Fuck that, dude.
You're gonna
hell I will.
You'll have to do it.
No, I can't do that.
You won't call the Hogs at orientation?
No. Hell no. No, I'll be more. No, fuck that.
What about when you go to Parents Weekend?
No.
And you go to the game when they play against like San Francisco State.
Good job, Hogs.
Aaron will start calling them because moms do it.
Oh, I can see my wife getting into it now. Not your boy though.
Moms do it.
Somebody's got to balance.
So when the other siblings are there and they're like, okay, yeah, and they start doing it, you're not gonna call them.
No,
I bet you do,
but I don't.
You'll never. If he goes there for 4 years, has a great experience, you'll never call the Hogs.
No, I can't. There's just a few that I can't do. Like I'll support them. Like go. I mean, I just can't get into the. You know what it is though? It's the happy fingers.
Yeah, I don't like the finger thing either.
If it wasn't the happy fingers thing,
I do see some people.
Fun fact:
some people just do this. They just go. Like
I could do this.
Yeah, they just do that.
I could do this.
Yeah,
it's the happy fingers. It's like when I go, when you
because I've watched this a lot. Like some of the people that are like, I don't mind the words, but I'm not doing the fingers. They'll just do like this. They'll kind of do like their hands like that a little bit.
Oh, they wave them.
Well, like
this.
What do they call that?
Waving.
No. What's it called? Like
Parkinson's. I mean, what are we?
No, it's like something hands, like music hands or someone.
Okay.
Someone help me when they do this.
Happy hands.
It's not. It's got a term to it. Like Tim Walz did it a lot. Like hey, but he was like all over the place. Would have been. I'm sorry, TikTok. He would have been a great vice president. It's
jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Yeah, they'll kind of almost.
Never heard that a day in my life.
Thank you.
Not one day in my life have I heard that called jazz hands.
They'll kind of do like jazz hands because they don't want to do the finger thing. They'll just do this and they'll do the cheer and nobody really cares. It's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people just stand there and watch, but.
I feel. I mean, we got 97 people in the Cooper Chevrolet chat that says jazz hands. Never heard it. I'm today years old when I heard jazz hands.
Yeah, I knew I was. I just couldn't think of the word jazz hands. That's correct.
Y'all got me on that one. All right, Scoops. NFL, National Football League.
All right. Listen, I have kind of an NFL betting rule. It's a real simple one, and that is if you give me the Pittsburgh Steelers and points, I'll take them. I don't really care who they're playing. It's going to work 8 out of 9 times probably. So even though it's the Steelers at home against the Ravens, and the Ravens are awfully good, and it's Lamar Jackson, and he's just an absolute beast, it's a rule. Pittsburgh plus 3.
It's my favorite bet on the card.
I mean,
my favorite bet on the card.
They just win. Like we talk about great coaches, and he kind of gets overlooked, and I don't really know why. I mean, I get it. Andy Reid has more championships, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Listen, if you tell me, hey, Neal, you got to have an NFL team for a year, who do you want to be your coach? I think I might just by default go give me Mike Tomlin. I watched him at a pro day one time. Just kind of the way he handles stuff. He's real kind of cool. And then you see him and he gets really intense and you're like, that's my guy. I get it. I get why it works.
Golly. All right. I got 7 games in my deal, so I'll if I have to, I will. But if I had to come back to one, that's the first one I'm coming back to. All right, Scoops. The Miami Dolphins are hosting the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of issues going on in Vegas. They don't know who they're starting at quarterback. They actually do. They named them. But the Dolphins starting to see little signs of life. Little signs of life.
Leif says I'm more liberal than I lean on.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
yes, he is.
Yeah, that's me.
That's him.
That's me.
The Miami Dolphins are favored by 7 points. That's a big line in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what, Scoops? It's not enough. Give me the Miami Dolphins -7 at home against the Las Vegas Raiders on
I looked
Sunday.
at that one.
It's actually a noon kickoff, too. So it's really a 10 a.m. kickoff for those guys on the road. I like everything about this. I like the way the Dolphins are trending right now. Give me the Dolphins -7.
All right. My next one is you're giving me points, and you're giving me points with the better team. And just as a rule, I'm going to take it. Give me the Atlanta Falcons +2.5 at Denver. Denver doesn't beat good teams. Atlanta's a pretty good team, and you're going to give me points. I'll take the Falcons.
All right. I had the same. That's another one. That was like one of my – should have gone with that first and beat you to it. So if you pick another one, I got to go back to one. All right. I had that one. I love the same bet. Like it. All right. Here we go. The San Francisco 49ers are at home against the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I like that one too.
The 49ers are favored by 6.5. The Seahawks, coming off a bye week, the 49ers went out to Seattle and beat them pretty good. Beat them by like 12 points on the road without Christian McCaffrey. Now we got Christian McCaffrey and it's at home. Give me the 49ers. The only guy that's missing is Brandon Ayuk. Give me the 49ers -6.5 at home against the Seahawks.
Okay, I had that one too, so I'll try to skip it for a minute. I might have to come back to it.
Okay.
All right, I got a big AFC game this week. Bills, Chiefs in Buffalo. Chiefs a 2-point dog. Chiefs have been playing with fire week after week after week, and this week they're getting burned. Give me Buffalo -2 over the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Scoops. I can't skip any more games. There's a game in Buffalo, New York this weekend.
Okay. Oh, good. We're going to have a little swing here.
Buffalo
we
Bills.
split our swings last week. We
Yes.
had 2 each. We had 1 each that we won.
I won the college, you won the pro.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are favored by 2 points against the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs.
That's correct.
And guess what, Scoops? It's too much.
Oh.
Give me the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the deal. The Bills, in my opinion, their big deal is offensively they've been rolling. Well, that matches up with the strengths of the Chiefs. I actually think this line is it's just brutal. One of these teams wins by 3 points. It's a field goal game either way. I like the Chiefs. They're an undefeated team. They find a way to win these games. I don't know why. Just give me the Chiefs +2. You're giving me the undefeated team in the NFL with points. I'm taking it. Give me the Chiefs +2 at the Bills. It's a trap. They're trying to get you to take the Chiefs, so congratulations to all you Bills bettors. But I just like the matchup of Kansas City's defense versus Buffalo's offense.
All right. Should be a hell of a game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
All right. So I had the Niners, and I might end up having to stay with the Niners because I don't know that there's enough games that I like here.
Okay.
I'm talking to myself a little bit here.
All right.
The Detroit line's too big. It's 14 points.
14 points. Dude, how about that?
It's insanity.
Well, Trevor Lawrence is not playing. That's part of it.
Yeah, they could easily cover it, but 14 points
And
in an
NFL
NFL
is
game
freaking
is just
nuts.
a lot of points. I like Philly -4 tonight, but it's one of those damn NFC East rivalry games that always end up being so freaking close. I don't hate Green Bay -5.5 at Chicago. The Bears have a quarterback issue, and it's beginning to become a problem.
OC got fired this week.
OC got fired, but it's an NFC North game that's typically close. Isn't that weird? Even at the professional level, the rivalry thing kicks in a little bit.
Well, they know each other so well, and they play each other twice a year.
Yeah. The other one that I like, and I've got it down on my sheet, and I'm probably just going to go with it because my gut tells me to, but there's two things that burn me on it. One, last week I didn't do it, and I'm mad at myself. I always like the NFL team the week that they fire the coach.
Oh. You didn't take the Saints.
And I didn't take it, and the Saints won. Now, a week later, I typically go, okay, the buzz wears off, and now the problems reignite. But they're playing Cleveland. And they suck. Now, it's Jameis Winston coming back to New Orleans, and he's going to want to prove something because that's just kind of who he is.
Oh.
And so there's a lot of, like, dynamics in there. And also the Saints need to lose, and they keep winning when they need to lose. Cleveland needs to lose. Someone who needs to lose is going to win a game. And so I'm, like, just talking myself in circles on this. All right, I'll do this one. And then the other one I like, it's not on your sheet, I don't think. Nope. I actually kind of sneaky like Houston -7 in Dallas. Dallas is a mess.
They're a mess.
They're a mess. I mean, they're a mess. Like they got a list of issues that just goes forever.
They'll be there with head coach Deion Sanders next year.
Ooh.
We didn't talk about that earlier because I didn't hear anything. Ooh, look at
Wow.
Oh.
You know, because we do the Joker thing, but Deion's done a hell of a job this year.
He's got 5 elite players, and everybody else sucks. He's not going to watch that. Like I said in the beginning of the year, he's not going to watch that shit next year now.
No, he's going to get out. Now, if you're Dallas, that puts you back on the spotlight every week. I mean, you're already America's team and all that stuff, but like there was a big article this week. I'm just talking out loud to myself. There was a big article this week about has the Kansas City Chiefs replaced the Dallas Cowboys as America's team. And I just wondered to myself when I read it. It was a good article. It was well written.
It pissed somebody off.
Particularly
ownership.
I wondered if Jerry Jones read that and said, over my dead body. And he can't do anything about his quarterback right now, but he could do something about his coach. Interesting.
There's smoke.
All right, give me the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles tonight. Eagles -4 at home against the Washington Commanders.
All right, I've already bet this game. I got it at 3.5. I mean, I know it's 4 now. I bet it when it was 3.5. I got Philly -3.5 tonight, so I like that bet. I think the Philadelphia defensive line is going to be able to contain Jaden Daniels. That's the thing. That's how the Steelers got him last week. He only had he didn't rush for much. He couldn't get out of the pocket. I think Philly's defensive line is going to do the same thing. Look, Philly's playing out of their gourd right now. I know everybody gives them shit all the time, but they're playing freaking unconscious right now. Which is really leading up to this. I can't wait. We're going to get a Philadelphia Lions matchup in the playoffs. At some point in time, it's going to
be a good one.
All right, Scoops, I'm going to have to repeat one in just a second because I'm out of games. My fourth game, the Cincinnati Bengals are traveling to L.A. to take on the Chargers. Mm-hmm. Okay? The Bengals are not far away. Where they're struggling is on defense. They're getting ran through like shit through a tin horn on defense. But they're playing really well on offense. Joe Burrow's having his best year of his career, being injured and all. I think the Chargers aren't explosive enough to outscore the Bengals, in my opinion. Give me the Bengals +1.5 on the road in Los Angeles against the Chargers.
They're actually kind of getting a little healthier. I think T. Higgins is close to returning.
Yeah, even without him, though. I mean, Joe Burrow's having the best year of his career, and nobody's talking about it much because of the record. They're just so bad on defense, and I don't think LA is explosive enough to take advantage of that. Down the field, and so I like the Bengals in this matchup.
Drew, thanks for the super chat. He says, I have a future request. With both of your experiences, you could collaborate on an amazing book or podcast on inside story of SEC teams the public doesn't know, see, understand why you can't now. That would require no.
Thanks. Hey,
no.
Drew, thank you.
Yeah, it's very kind of you. But
very
no.
kind. Yeah. Like I said, somebody asked me on TikTok about some story. It was one of the AJ clips. Said something about asked me if I had signed an NDA or something. And I was like, no. I said, I can tell some stories. Most I cannot.
Yeah, I mean,
not publicly. I've told Scoop some things off the air and like some stories, but publicly I can't. I won't.
yeah,
say, I
no,
won't
I
say
mean,
anything.
I know too many things that just simply couldn't be reported. It would
There's nothing to gain and everything to lose.
nothing to gain. People would be
losing
incredibly
friendships and
and you would
getting people in trouble, including yourselves.
and you would probably destroy families.
Yeah, that's not.
Just wouldn't
It's
be
not.
worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's
For a podcast or a book.
And I've said this to people. I mean this. I don't want to write a book. I think too many average writers write books.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm going to tell you who will never write a book.
Well, then we're in the same boat.
I mean, I can't. Somebody said something about me one day writing a book. I said, "Have you heard me talk?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Siskey releasing his book straight to audio tape. They go to the movies. They go straight to VHS.
Yeah.
Mine goes straight to audio tape.
Yeah. No, all right. I'm trying not to double up. You've doubled up.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. All right. I'll play my game. I'll go with my. No, I'm not. I don't like it. Go ahead. Do your next one.
All right. My last one. I'm going to take the Steelers +3 with Scoops at home versus, that's my favorite bet of the week. Steelers. So I have the Steelers +3, Dolphins -7. I have the 49ers -6.5, the Chiefs +2, and the Bengals +1.5.
All right.
I think the Steelers have a crazy good record against the Ravens, and you're giving me, and I think they're sneakily one of the better teams in the AFC. And look, here's the scary part, and you'll probably know where I'm going. The scary part for me in this matchup, where the only hesitancy I have in this matchup, is the Ravens are the best team in the NFL against the run. They are the worst team in the NFL against the pass. Pittsburgh is run first team.
Right.
So I'm interested, where do they go with that? I will tell you this. I'll maybe prop betting this thing and maybe taking Russell Wilson passing yards or Pickens touchdown or something like that. But I think they're going to take shots deep. But that's probably my biggest concern in this game.
Drew says I won't tell Chase about average writers writing books. Listen. I haven't read Chase's book. I'm sure it's very good. I am an average writer. I'll tell you that flat out. I'm an average writer. I don't. Not talking about anybody else specifically. Someone made a Steve Robertson joke in there. I've never read his book. I don't know. I'm an average writer. I think you have to be.
What makes a good writer?
They're just better with words.
Gotcha.
They're just elite with words. I think, and you know them when you see them. I don't think I would be able to produce a good book. I don't. And honestly, if I wrote a book, it wouldn't be about sports.
Okay.
It would be about something else. Like the idea of writing like someone the other day, I think they were joking, but they asked me, like, if Ole Miss wins the national championship in football, are you writing a book? And I said, no. I mean, somebody will. It won't be me.
Yeah.
Oh hell, I'll roll the dice and see what happens. Give me the Saints +1 at home against the Browns.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you. How you broke it down at the beginning. I don't know where to go on that one.
All right, neither does Vegas. That's why they've got it at 1 point.
We need to roll. We got a hard out, right?
Yeah.
In
7 minutes.
Yep.
All right. Thanks to everybody for being with us. Butcher versus the Dance Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market, is just 7 minutes away here at MPW Digital. This show's been brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, as always, we're brought to you by our good friends at PTG Outdoors. Check this out. You can discover Garmin at PTG Outdoors. From cycling and running watches to tax indoor cycling, Garmin brings innovation to your fitness journey. Track health metrics, explore maps, and enjoy GPS precision for cycling, golf, and outdoor adventures. Dive deeper with swim tracking, train smarter with dog tracking tools, and monitor performance on land and water. Explore Garmin's range, including smartwatches, scales, and advanced off-road instruments, available now, right now. As you get off of here, go to PTG Outdoors. Purchase something, anything, and when you purchase anything from PTG Outdoors in the promo code, make sure you put MPW, and that's going to enter you into the entire month of November. That's going to automatically enter you in the free giveaway that our good friend Brandon's giving away a Garmin Tread powered Power Sport GPS with Ride Radio. He's going to give that away. That will be one of the best presents you can get for your favorite outdoors person. And Scoops, on the way to PTG Outdoors there in Grenada, Mississippi, stop by our good friends or give them a call at Kia of Meridian. Are you looking for unbeatable deals? Kia of Meridian has you covered with rates as low as 1.9% on new rides. Whether it's the ever-popular Telluride, the Sorrento, the Sportage, or the K5, they've got something for everybody. Plus, they have a huge, brand-new selection of new and used vehicles, and here's the best part. With a new or used vehicle purchase, you will get a chance to spin the wheel to win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian or call 601-483-6444 and drive away a winner today. Scoops, Kia of Meridian. Your road, your ride, your deal.
Thank you. Look forward to that. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being with us. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday with another edition of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. Until then, have a great weekend. Take care.